guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to go on a very brief topic, but first, if this is your first time coming into my channel, please do not go without subscribing, sharing or liking my videos. And please turn on your post notifications so every time I upload a new video, you're going to get notified. And if you've been watching my video so far, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your effort. The last video I made some few days ago, I quite of emphasized about your rights as an employee in Bahrain. This is the things your employer is supposed to be aware of while employing you or during the process of employment. What he or she is supposed to do. Okay, on today's video, I'm going to do a reverse. Now, the rights are the duties of our employers, and our duties are our duties. So today I'm going to be talking about your duty as an employee in Bahrain. The first thing I want you to know is duty. When it comes about the duty, it's your sole responsibility about certain things you're supposed to do at the job site and certain things you are not supposed to do. Anyways, notwithstanding, I'm going to be telling you about the do and the don't at the job site. But today, I'm going to emphasize more about your duty as an employee in Bahrain. Now, we'll dive in so fast. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is performing your duty as entrusted to you by your employer. So, let me break this term down. Once your employer tells you, or you sign a contract with your employer and your employer tells you you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do this, okay, your duty is, okay, for example, you're a waiter or a waitress, your duty is to serve the customers or anything, take their orders. This is your duty. You should make sure you take this task as it is being said to you by your employer. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is you should make sure you accomplish all the instructions given to you by your employer. Now, instructions are like rules your employer gives you. You have to follow them as an employee. Okay, there is no need or any form of, trying to form or being stubborn. Whatever instructions your employer gives you, you abide and you are supposed to do this according to how it is done, unless it is contrary to the labor office, the labor law. That is when we say, okay, you cannot do this because it is against what it's been written in the labor law. For example, if you're working, like I always quote an example with those working in the house as house help. If you're working in the house help and your duties are to take care of the kids, clean the house, do the laundry, and do the cooking. Now you have a boss, maybe a male boss, and wants to sleep with you. This is not what is being stipulated in your law, in the labor law. This is an abuse, so you cannot do this. This is the only fact where you cannot take this instruction. But any other instruction, you are supposed to take this because it is something you have signed as a contract and you are willing to do it as per the labor law. Now, the next thing is going to be your responsibility. It is a duty for you as an employee to be responsible for the documents, equipment, or whatever you're being given to at your possession. Tools, documents, whatever your employer gives you, you are solely responsible, and a duty on that matter, you should take it upon yourself to be a responsible employee. Because whether you like it or not, if you're not responsible, you're going to get into one or two mess in a way you will not be able to figure it out how this and why it happened. So responsibility is another aspect you should take as a duty upon yourself, not only upon the fact that you're working in a company. Okay, so let's move to the next. The next is it's a duty for you to give confidential information to your employer. What do I mean by confidential information? Confidential information simply means you're going to tell your employer, that is if when asked, you're going to tell your employer if you're married or not, if you're single or not. You are not supposed to like hide up anything from your employer, because he or she is on, you're under he or she, and Obviously they have to know this part of you. So let's know how we are treating this person. Or probably you're staying in, maybe you're not staying in the company's accommodation, you're maybe staying somewhere else, and let's say you're married and you do not tell your company you're married. Now they want you to work overtime, they want you to do some type of, some kind of jobs that is going to bring issue between you and your husband or your spouse. It is your responsibility as an employee to tell your employer this confidential information about your marital status. Okay, so this is another duty you have to take it in mind that you have to do. Now, the last but not the least is, it is your duty for you to return all documents, equipment, and tools given to you by your employer after your termination or after your contract is finished. Now, for example, there are certain companies that will provide you the uniform, and they'll provide, let's say, for example, in a restaurant, right? They'll provide you the uniform and the apron and everything you need to use. So, at the end of all, they are going to give you, let's say, a phone. Maybe for example you're a manager, they are going to give you a phone to be calling your staffs, or a laptop, or even a car to be driving around. So when you're done with this, you're done with your working there, or your visa is finished, or your employment contract is finished, whatsoever, like let's say you're being terminated, it is your duty to give back all this equipment back to your employer. You're not supposed to take it. That's taking it to your house, or taking it without your employer accepting, or your employer giving you the permission, is called stealing. I hope you know that. So I'll just go a brief drive through of what I said. The first thing, or the first duty as an employee in Bahrain, is to make sure that whatever is being entrusted into your hands, you should take good care of it. Documents, equipment, tools, you should take good care of it. It is your duty. There are certain companies, if you don't take care of these things and they get spoiled or broken, you're going to pay for it. For example, I'm going to be talking about, let's say, the people who do cleaning. Okay, so the housekeeping, like the house to housekeeping. So if your employer provides you a bucket, a mop, and let's say a floor rag that you have to use while you're doing your work, and you mishandle it and it gets bad, some employers are kind enough to just let it go and say, okay, it's bad, so I'm not going to charge her for it. And there are some employers that maybe they don't have the money to really buy this equipment, and they're expecting you to manage it and to use it well, and you misuse it, my dear, you're definitely going to pay for this. And the next thing I said was, you should make sure you accomplish whatever tax your employer gives to you. That is, unless it is contrary to the labor law, that you're going to say no, 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 but you have to do it. And the next thing you also have to do is, you should yeah, the next thing you also have to do is, you should make sure you hand out all the equipment given to you by the employer once your contract is being terminated. One thing I also forgot to tell you is that in every company, in every organization, wherever you work, there are rules and regulations that abide to this company. Your boss put the rules and regulations, so the company should be able to move. Because a company or an organization that does not have rules and regulation, everything will be like this. My grandmother say in Bakuri, loco loco. Everything will be loco loco anyhow. So you have to abide to the rules and regulations that govern that company or the organization. Another thing I want to tell you about, or I want to emphasize about, is your timing. It is your duty, it is for you to take it upon yourself that, for example, the timing that is given to the company to be at the job site and the timing you have to leave, you have to take it upon yourself to be at the job site at that time. Okay, for example, we have companies that, let's say, I'll keep on quoting about restaurant because I worked in the restaurant. So in the restaurant, they will tell you you have to start working, let's say from 12, no, let's say from 1 p.m., and the restaurant closes at, let's say, 1 a.m. in the morning. Now, if you're coming late, it's a duty upon yourself. You should take it as a duty upon yourself to inform your superior in charge of you, or your boss, whoever is superior to you, and tell them, I'm sorry, I'm going to be coming late. You shouldn't just stay and you go late. No, no, no. You have to be responsible. Like I spoke about the aspects of being responsible, taking care of the materials, equipment, and tools that are being given to you. So you should also take it upon yourself to make sure you're at the job site on time. One other thing I want to emphasize on, or I want to talk about when it concerns the duty of an employee, is that you should take it upon yourself to respect your superior, your boss, your superior colleagues, colleagues in general. You know, respect is reciprocal. What you give me is what I give you. If you don't give me, I cannot give you. So, and when I talk about respect, now this I'm just going to brief it short. When I talk about respect, it goes in both ways. It goes to the boss or the superior, and it goes to the staff. Now, there are certain staffs that, yes, of course, we know we are working for you, and maybe we did a mistake. Everybody is bound to do mistake. Anybody who say I cannot do mistake, no, then you're telling lies. Then you're lying to even God, because it's normal for you to do mistakes. That's why we do mistakes every time, and we put our knees down and go and pray and plead for forgiveness. So everybody is bound to do mistakes. So if you're maybe a superior and your staff does a mistake, there should be a way of communicating, not throwing insults or not shouting in an unnecessary manner. Yes, it's okay for you to shout, it's okay for you to get upset, but as an employer and employee, you should know how to control this thing. Okay, let me go back to my employee, my fellow employee. I'm also an employee just like you watching this video. If you're working somewhere and you see the respect is not given the way it has to be, you don't have any choice. You don't want to leave. You can always talk out things with this person. Who We are all humans, okay? Like I said, there is always this mutual understanding between um the employer and the employee. So respect is reciprocal, okay? So yep. Whew, I'm done for today. So guys, if you've been watching this video from the beginning to end, please put me a thumbs up, tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to Nessa's Fantasy, share my video, give out your suggestions in the comment section, and trust me, I'll definitely reply to whatever comment you give. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye.